Hi guys, so I just arrived at Matthew with my material because I'm getting ready for the Damara dress masquerade. It's Wednesday, the event is on Saturday, so wish me luck. So I just gave my material in and I know Matthew is gonna do wonders, so we'll see how it goes. Open. This is my first fitting.
Why are you
I am extremely happy with you got the arms correct. I just need to have that wow factor. So we're going to add some pearls here. We're going to add some pearls. There's a belt that comes with it. So I'm quite excited. And this needs to go a little bit shorter because now it's a bit long, but sure, guys.
Damara, 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 Damara. Woman, I say Damara. Uruwe, I don't let them I say Damara. Oh, got it. Damara, to hold them I Marani.
Happy birthday, Baba. Happy birthday, Baba.
It's my wife's birthday. Guys, only the best for my girls. So yeah, watch me transform this.
Money is nice.
Money is nice. All of us will like me. This is my favorite gift. This is actual fabric. Actual fabric. Actual beads. How are you? This is Wifey's gift for her birthday. Oh, it's been a while. Also said we are ready for you. Yeah, and then you we're about to pick up the dress. That's Matthew's studio. We're coming from Chinatown, like I'm exhausted. Exhausted. And the event hasn't even started. But we got everything we needed. Hello. So pretty. Hello. Good, how are you? That's confusing.
Goody my type. How good the legs? Oh legs.
Damara, Mama Damara, Damara, Mama Damara, Woman I say Damara, Urupe I, Mama Damara, Dora Daman I say Damara, Oi Gatti, Mama Damara.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining me on stage tonight. I just want to prick a little on the mental power tonight. I want us to unwrap and unravel and dissect on cultural, preserving cultural heritage.
Crying voice. When it comes to cultural heritage, there are lots of mechanisms one can use to employ this exercise, right? One of the important aspects that I think gets neglected is the role of technology in preserving cultural heritage.
Do you think that's a good thing?
I think technology, considering that we're in the fourth industrial revolution, technology has its role to play. And we cannot deny this, right? When tangible and intangible elements of culture get passed down through generations, one cannot eliminate the role that technology should play in that. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, I believe that in a nutshell, we basically have to somewhat thank technology because it helps us. In the past, we couldn't database everything. It was just archives in basically your libraries or in your records departments. But now, because of technological advancements, we have these things readily available. But do you think we are doing enough? Us as Damaras now, are we doing enough to put ourselves out there, particularly pertaining the restoration of cultural heritage?
I would have to say that I'm a bit ambivalent with regards to this. There are initiatives such as the Kwekwe Kovap Development Society who play a major role in educating.
Should we say we have done enough? And you, as part of our newest member, are we doing enough? What more can we do? What are the next steps that you can think of that we can use to really penetrate?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As Steffi has alluded to, I'm the youngest, apparently the youngest, the newest addition to the HoroQuest Planning Committee. And I think for me, particularly coming on board, in my day-to-day, I'm a marketing specialist and I own a company called Inkinibe Experiential Marketing, and I'm also a YouTuber. So I think for me, I saw an opportunity to the point of actually preserving and how can we do enough. And as I'm sitting here, I'm still part of the younger generations. And last year, I lost my mom. And I think that also gave me an awakening to say that I am actually the eldest in the house now. I have siblings that are younger, that aspires to be like me. So how can I actually take that leading role within the household as well as within the community? Because I've realized when there's no elder, you see the lack and you need to step up and fill those shoes. So I think that was an amazing motivation for me, and I know that there are a lot of plans that we have as the planning committee to actually involve the girl child, the boy child. What are some of the initiatives that we can do to stand together as a nation? And I just want to acknowledge the amazing caliber of women that's sitting here. These are ladies that we look up to in the corporate space, because it shows that we do have the means, we do have people that are actually vehicles within this country, and we need to support each other and be part of this revolution. Because
it was about the dignity of the black people in this country. It was about reclaiming who we are, and our identity lies in our tribe. It lies in our nation, isn't it? That's why we fought. And that's what identity means. That's what cultural heritage means. Cultural heritage is not just about eating food and dance. Cultural heritage is about identity, about belonging, about being part of the other. That is what I believe cultural identity is. That is my answer to your question.
Not only are you, so the identity part is so important in preserving culture, because not only are you Namibian, but you're also an African, and you form part of the global society, right? So I have the privilege to stand on African platforms to address people. And I think it was one of the things that Rosie recognized when she said, you have to take your cultural heritage seriously. So when you stand on that stage and you want to say, I'm Namibian, yet you're wearing a kente cloth, but not in a Damara dress. So you can't identify with being a Damara or being a Namibian, for example. But I just want to touch on the thing about the men. Because I'm also a coffee shop owner, yes, a geologist, but I'm also a gender activist, we can call it that, and fighting for gender equality. And one of the things that I find is, as my mom has just said now, we tend to always leave that responsibility to women. When we do it right, we've done it fantastically. When we do it wrong, we are then that person's skills in. And most of us here are raised by single parents, right? And that single parent would usually be the woman.
Intentionality. I think it's very, very imperative for each and every one of us in this room to be intentional. To be intentional about preserving, to be intentional about being a mother to the motherless. Because I've heard when Steffi was saying it starts from the grassroots, yes it does. It starts from your home. So just considering the fact that we do have orphans as well, people that are not that privileged to have parents that actually want to preserve this cultural heritage concept. So I think within our communities, within our workplaces, if you see someone that has that aspiration, someone that keeps asking you, I just want to urge you to actually be that influencer. Because even if you look at it from a youngster perspective, I'm sitting here because I was influenced. I'm sitting here because I saw a fellow young, Steffi's literally my cousin. So I always saw her being so prideful, being so within the culture, but it took awakening within myself to actually join that journey, and it took me a year to join them. So I just want to see, if you see youngsters, young ladies, urge them, speak to them. It doesn't necessarily have to be your own blood, but let us all be intentional and be influencers within ourselves. I just want to say that in closing. So thank
you. We also have a sister all the way from Ghana. The reason she is here, I don't know, but the mere mentions of culture, that's where it mixes. And that's where the link happens. She would like to also just mention just a few things. Ti ne kwentina da gini ka musima ka wida in tina ni ngam ka tina to sini unhasa. As to say you brought some ka. My sister, she is all the way from Ghana, and she was quite triggered by this discussion, and she would like to just add one or two things. Welcome. Feel welcome.
Thank you. No, it's very interesting to hear the points that have been made. As he mentioned, I come from Ghana, and one of the things you'll know is that we've exported the kente fabric. You think of Africa from the diasporic point of view and you think kente. That's because we have been able to export our culture. One of the things that we grow up knowing is this notion of sankofa, which is a bird whose head has turned back to retrieve an egg. And that is us taking back our past to be able to build upon that, to build a future for ourselves. And as it stands, about 80% of written knowledge on the African continent lives outside of Africa. So those are things we need to bring back. A very, very good point was made about preserving what lies as it stands right now. And that is very true, because a lot of our culture is passed down orally and nothing is written down. So technology can be used to preserve, to capture, and to pass it on generation to generation.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. It was appetizing to just pick on your brains and just hear what are the thoughts and where we headed to. Sadati hauna sito uitoku hanya sa honsadang hausani taigena dan tung ka si sadati tung ini mut mitau kaus asini swat hasaban ikon hadran ko da kikisi anisa tidak ke huagui atsi an urati akaban o tikhui damai dimi damaha Nukui as kose mapatui garanti katai tui di khabe ida ke tidak ke seti kuin kha kese anisa tidak ke kono
Damara woman I say Damara
Okay. Hello, DJ. Just the music.
Phenomenal woman. Oh, I saw that. Look at that. Now, oh, it's not a good now. Did oh, I said so. Oh, okay, ahagara kaima. Take house down. Arms come here and mommy video.
Congratulations. Yeah. Say, So,
nesikeza kukutaiza Damara, 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 woman I say Donna Daman I say Oi Gatti Chow Daman I Naranin I Ruben I say Woman I Akutaman I say
Oka mami, oka babi, oka mami, oka babi, oka mami, oka babi, oka mami.